Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Jena Colbourne Show, our second episode ever. So excited to have you in on the show today, and thank you for joining me. Whether you're joining me live or you're watching the rebroadcast later on, which is totally cool, you can do that as well. Pop in whenever you want. Be sure to hit share. Let your friends know that we're live this morning or this afternoon and that the Jena Colbourne Show is on Lakeland Connect. Share the love, everybody. Today's show, we're really going to dig deep into mindset and what it has to play with your fitness goals. So a lot of people go into a fitness goal with this loss mentality. Like I'm one as well, where it's you put, I need to lose weight, then I'll gain something. So if I lose weight, I will gain self-confidence. If I lose weight, I will gain friends. If I lose weight, I will gain happiness. So have you ever thought about how kind of backwards it is to put losing to gain as your mentality and your thinking and not the opposite way? Like what if you gained mental clarity first? Or what if you gained your goal first and then aligned your goal with your fitness goals as well, so they're both on the same track? That's basically where we're diving into when it comes to mindset and mindset fitness. We have our Community Futures Lakeland Business Spotlight today is Victoria G Fitness, and she does just that. She strips things down with you. When you're a client of hers, she starts things off with putting mindset first. She gets you in the right mindset, then she works towards those fitness goals, because that's how we would all succeed in a better way, is aligning our mindset goals, like what our ultimate goal is, the ultimate feeling we might want to feel when we're there, with our fitness journey. So Victoria G Fitness does a great job at that. We're going to be highlighting her today. Make sure you stick around for that. We're also chatting with Shireen Sutherland. She's a life coach, intentional living, health, and wellness. And right now she's doing a series with Project Gazelle called Break the Cycle. And we're going to be chatting with her about emotional stress and binge eating. I am quite the victim of emotional stress and binge eating. I do all of them. If I'm feeling a little sad, I often go towards that comfort dessert to fill me up. Or if I'm, a little stressed out, I'll find myself with a bag of white cheddar popcorn, and before I know it, my hands are sticky, full of flakes of white cheddar, and the entire bag's gone, and I didn't even know what happened. So Shireen's going to help us out with breaking that cycle. I'm sure a lot of you have fallen into the cycle, or maybe you're currently doing the cycle where you eat really well all week long, you're hitting those fitness goals, you're hitting that feel-good vibes, and then Friday night comes along and you start snacking. It turns into a Saturday binge session, which turns into Sunday regret and guilt. Well, Shireen's going to help us out on that one and breaking that cycle, all part of this mindset theme. We also have special guests in today, the amazing Janine Hebert, and she is here to discuss powerlifting. So she's a national powerlifter, and it's really just cool to see a female in that role, but we're going to talk about her fitness journey, as it's not the typical female or quote-unquote feminine fitness journey. So we're going to be chatting with her about that, as well as her powerlifting career, where it's brought her, what she's gained from it, and where she's going next. So that's all to come on the Jena Colbourne Show. Make sure you stick around. Janine Hebert is in studio coming up right after this.
Muse-inspired in Cold Lake is not your average clothing store. You'll discover unique brands like Sandwich, Papillon, Camp, Dex, Spiritual Gangster, and more. Accessorize your outfit with shoes, bags, outerwear, and jewelry. Find one-of-a-kind gift ideas and don't miss out on their monthly sip and shop. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to get inspired. Muse-inspired in Cold Lake and online, museinspiredboutique.com.
Welcome back to the Jena Colbourne Show. I am joined live in studio with Janine Hebert. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited to see this for the first time. It's fantastic.
Thank you. When I started the show, it was really funny. I had this idea to do it, and that same very day you messaged me and you were like, hey, if you ever have any interest in talking powerlifting, let me know.
Weird, right?
Yes.
The universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I lined it up to. I was like, man, Janine must have been feeling my vibes about creating this show about women.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you, because you were, let's go back a little ways. Start at the beginning. Your origin story, if you will.
Of powerlifting?
Of powerlifting, yeah.
Okay, so I began powerlifting at the end of April in 2017. And what got me started was I happened to catch on YouTube a competition of M4 women powerlifters. So M4, for those that don't know, is 70 plus. So if you can imagine 70-year-old women squatting 300 pounds. And I thought that was friggin' amazing. Like these women, and they didn't start in their teens. You know how we're kind of conditioned that if you don't start skating by the age of 2, or if you don't start gymnastics at the age of 4, that you're not going to be good at anything. And it was like an aha moment that I'm like, oh my God, these women are killing it, and they looked amazing. And I'm like, if they're doing that, I can definitely do that in my late 30s. And that was it.
So how did you get started? You watched this video, and then did you go to the gym like timidly and start lifting things?
No.
Or did you get a trainer? Like, how did that process go?
Well, I trained with Vicki Bird, not with powerlifting, but just like conditioning and cardio and some of the strength aspect. But I never picked up a barbell until after April 2017. And what happened was Vicki went off to have a baby, and I had a choice to be with a new trainer at the C2, and it was Rhonda, and she had a strength background, and we just hit the floor running. She knew some contacts, so she texted some people that she knew power lifted, and they kind of helped her get me going and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't start powerlifting to compete. This journey has taken a place that I did not think was ever going to happen. I just wanted to be a woman, get in the gym, feel strong, and the rest of it's kind of history, I guess.
Well, when I told you I was going to have you as a guest, I said, you know, Janine, I'm going to go deep in your Facebook and find some photos. So here is the first photo that I found that where you're powerlifting. And I found it interesting because I know you well enough to know this is a little ways into your journey.
Yeah.
Tell me about this picture. What memories does that bring up?
Well, I look like I'm smaller there. So that must have been when I was like in the keto phase.
Actually, it did say, thank you, keto.
I'm a little bit heavier then, but I'd like to think it was muscle tone that I've put on since then. So my PRs have increased since that picture. And that, when I stand like that, I do lots of poses and I'm like that, is because I feel like this incredible human being that has these gains, and she does it for her, and I feel invincible. It's like a feeling. And what I tell people about what I feel like when I work out, it's for me. It fills my cup, and it makes me a better mom, a better wife, a better volunteer, a better member of my community. And the stronger I get, the more I appreciate the journey of it and all the amazing women I meet along the way.
Have you ever been told, oh, you're lifting wrong, or maybe, because I hear that's the thing with women, is that the boys at the gym will come around and critique your lifting, the gym bros, or, you know, if you keep lifting those weights, you're going to look very masculine. Are these common things you've heard in the gym?
When I first started, there was a couple of guys who would be like, that's not attractive, women shouldn't lift heavy, and you're going to look like this big, I don't know what they think I was going to look like, but anyways, I don't look like it, whatever it is. And men, I just use that as fuel. Do you know what I mean? Like who are you to tell me not to do something? I'm going to do it. And I'm a real Taurus that way. I'm stubborn as hell. And if you tell me that I can't do something, I'm going to do it twice as hard and twice as big.
Well, let's talk about, I'm not sure if this was your first competition, but this is the first one I was able to find, and I have a series of photos here. Chris is just going to roll through it. Tell me what your emotions are when you see these photos.
You said we weren't going to try and make me cry. This would be what comp is that one?
It was one of the first ones.
It was one of the first ones. Oh, you know what? That is 2018 Alberta Provincials.
Okay.
Yes, that is, because I recognize Sandra Drake's husband. That's Bruce, and And can I tell a story about this? A little story about that
please.
picture is so Bruce Drake is this awesome character. You always see him running around in the background when his wife Sandra put on meats and all that kind of stuff. And when I know he's standing behind me, he's saying little things like stand up straight, deep breath. And not everyone can hear that, but I can hear him saying that. And then when you squat and then you stand up, he's like, lock it out. And I love that when that's a spotting position. He's a back spot. I love that because the spotters want you to win. They want you to get your lift, right? So I love that. I love the community of powerlifting. There's nothing else like it. I call it, there's no such thing as a mean girl in powerlifting.
Well, I think we have 3 more photos in that series, and Chris will just cycle through these for
absolutely.
us. So this is the same competition, and there you are, Alberta Provincials.
Alberta Provincials.
That's your deadlift,
That
and
is.
then we'll cycle into, I believe, your bench press. Yeah, there we
press,
go.
yes,
And
yes.
when you're looking at this, you're probably like, wow, I could put a few more plates on that now.
We've increased because I think that PR at that meet would have been 80 kilos. Yeah. So I love that you went that far back. I haven't seen these in a long time.
And then we have the last photo in this series, and there you are with a medal. So was that your first provincial medal that you received?
That was because I had only been powerlifting for just a bit over a year at that point. Oh, I love that you brought these up. Oh yeah, my smile's pretty big there.
Tell me about this community of powerlifters. Like, who are they? What are they? How do we get some of this?
There's way too many of them to name, and I don't want to start crying. The community that is around me is not just people who powerlift, but it's also people that cheer us on.
Yeah.
And are there. Paulette Guard.
I did tell you I wouldn't make you cry, but it's been an emotional time. It's an emotional year for you.
It is.
I was going to wait a while to bring it up, but I think I know why you are emotional. The gym was closed in late December.
Yeah.
This was the second time during the last year that you've experienced that, and I think people can really see your passion bleeding through right now, and to have the gym closed again and not able to return, I think has really affected so many people.
Absolutely.
But people like yourself who depend on it so much, not just for your physical strength or your well-being, or sometimes I feel there's this misguidance, like, oh, they want to go to the gym because they're vamped and they want to be thin, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, that's not why we want to go to the gym.
Not.
So I totally get why you're emotional, because you probably haven't seen some of your friends in quite a while.
I miss you, I miss Carol, I miss my gym. And when I talk about the C2, that is my home training ground. Everything that I am is because I got started there, and it's always going to be home no matter what. And I just wish they would let me in there already.
Right? So you talk about myself, you, and Carol, and I call it like the lady lifters to myself. So around 9 a.m. we were going in there. Now I haven't really been back that much either.
Yeah.
And you guys unfortunately are classified high intensity, so not yet able to come back to the Centennial Center. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
I want to cycle back to last year though, before everything halted on us.
Absolutely.
You went to some pretty big competitions, starting with the 2020 Alberta. It was Powerlifting Union, where you won gold, and then you went on to nationals. And I think Chris has some pictures here of those meets.
Oh goodness. Please
he
don't
might.
be any. Oh no.
Oh no, that is not your national picture. But that, I do want to talk about this picture because, Janine, I gotta say, when I am at the gym, I like going when you're there because you're so just fun. You always have a smile on your face. It doesn't matter.
Unless I'm peeking. Then I'm usually really pissed off, or I'm crying about something and it's real ugly. But yeah, but that's only 2 weeks usually out of the year.
But I did want to share that because I wanted to show, like, sometimes you think of these bros, as you called them earlier,
gym bros.
And we're just in the gym, like, grunting, what did you lift, bro, you know?
Yeah.
And then in comes Janine in like these really funky, fun shorts and socks and a unicorn onesie. So, you know, you make things a little more playful at the gym.
Aw, I love that you said that. Yeah, this is what I feel like. I didn't accept who I was until my 30s. And now that I'm turning 41 in a couple of months, I'm going to be me and I'm going to be loud about it. You don't have to like it. I'm not here for you. I'm here for me. And if I'm going to wear the bright shorts, life is too short to wear the white socks. So I don't even own a pair of white or black socks. They all have patterns and they're all hideously ugly.
But really fun.
But fun, yeah. Always about fun. Yeah.
Well, back to nationals. I see you're holding your medal there.
Yes.
Tell me about this medal.
Oh, goodness. This medal. So I'm going to rewind just a little bit.
Okay,
so
please do.
Before nationals on March 3rd, 2020, I had tweaked something in my neck. I had an adhesion, and that was like right after New Year's or on New Year's and stuff. So we're talking 2 months before I'm going to hit the platform. I couldn't even squat. I couldn't put 135 pounds on my back. And with the numbers we were wanting to go with, we were aiming for a 365 pound squat as a third attempt. I just seen everything just flash before my eyes. I got really upset because I'm like, if I can't train, I can't build. And I got like really, it wasn't even because I wanted to win anything. I don't ever hit a competition thinking I'm going to win. I go because I'm like, I have this goal and I want these certain numbers because I'm always trying to get a bigger total, right? That's what powerlifters do. We're trying to get new PRs. You know that. Yes. I don't have to tell that to you. So I just seen it all like, okay, I had to take time off. Thank God, Stephanie Heyer, I love you. She's my massage therapist, and we worked that thing out. And within a couple of weeks, I was back under the bar, and we just steadily, we kept going. So I was confident that I was going to be able to at least squat. I wasn't real worried about numbers wise, but I was just to be able to at least go and compete, like with my teammate Carol Vachon. So yeah, it was all about that, because her and I we're a set, man. I mean, we don't share the same coach anymore, and that's okay, but she's always going to be my teammate. I'm always going to want her to win. She's always going to want me to win, and wins don't mean medals, they mean like new PRs, right? This is.
And you're really competing against yourself.
Are.
You're talking about your PRs. Prior to our latest shutdown, what were your PRs looking like?
Oh, my squat PR is in provincials, I got my 160, my 160 kilo, which is 352 pounds. My bench press is 95 kilos, which is 209 pounds. And my deadlift, my PR from nationals, was 190 kilos, which is 418 pounds.
Well, I think Chris probably has found the photo now, and it's of you. I think you hit a PR here. I'm actually positive
Am I
you
crying?
did. Yes. Chris, would throw up that photo of Janine.
Oh, that's true.
That one right there.
Yeah. This picture is gonna go on my tombstone when I'm 108, when I finally kick off, because this picture says so much. Just that whole, like, you came back. I had to pull that. I was tied. I was in second place because my competitor who went before me pulled 187 and a half kilos, I think. But because she weighed less than I did, she was in first.
Yes.
We were both tied at 432 and a half kilos. So I had to go and pull the 190 just to get first, and I was the last lifter in our flight. So we knew either way I was either going to be a gold medalist or I was going to be a silver medalist. So, and then the whole world fell apart. But that was, I'm going to share, that memory is going to mean so much to me for the rest of my life. I don't even care if I ever win nationals, win any kind of title ever again, because I won it once, and I would love for another woman to win it next time.
Let's talk about mindset when you're training. Because I know for myself, when I'm lifting weights or whenever I'm doing even cardio, there's this voice in my head that's saying, give up, don't do it, you can't do it, you're not good enough. Yep. You might as well go eat chips in your bed.
And sometimes we do.
I do find the one element of weightlifting that I love so much is the solo aspect, where you get inside your own head and you're able to pump you up. So have you gained that same mental mindset by weightlifting?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that mental mindset is pretty much the same for most powerlifters across the board. All of us, it doesn't matter how many times you've won, how many PRs you have attained in your career. there is always going to be that little voice in the back telling you that you can't do this. And then you just kind of take a deep breath and you're like, I'm doing this. And you just fight it. And whatever happens, happens. And I was trying to think of what my favorite part about powerlifting is, and it's probably the mental game. It's got to be the mental game. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a mantra before you lift?
Oh, probably try not to fart on the platform.
Which is quite funny. I was actually talking about this the other day, and I was like, ladies can powerlift and whatnot, but it's definitely not the quote-unquote lady sport, because there is sometimes that happens.
There's a little pee, there's a little, depending on if you had time in between attempts to go and hit the bathroom or not. But yeah, it all happens, and you know what? I've been at comps where women pee. It's not even a freaking issue. We all pee. Some of us wore Depends that day. Some of us forgot.
I absolutely love it. Reminds me of that Grey's Anatomy episode where they all put on adult diapers so they could do surgery longer. This is your passion. Go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no sense getting embarrassed about that kind of stuff. The way that I think Carol and I made a comment once. I'm like, would you rather piss your pants and get a PR, or would you rather hold it in and just drop it and be like, okay, I'm done because I gotta pee.
There you go. I think that's like a new, I think I'm going to get a motivational poster with that image of you and put it on there. Done.
It'd just be like pee happens. Yeah.
I'm absolutely having too much fun with you, Janine. I wanted to talk about things you've gained by powerlifting.
Oh.
Other than, of course, gains.
Other than the gains. My idea of who I am as a human being has completely changed. There's this thing as women that we have to be everything and do everything for everybody, and that we should be selfless and all this kind of stuff. And I think that's a load of bull. Like, we can do things for us and fill our own cup first and then help everybody else. So what I've gained was learning no. So if there's something we're like, oh, can you come and do this at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday? No, that's bench day. So no. And before, oh yeah, I'm going to be there and stuff like that. No, if you're going to ask me what I'm doing on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday morning from 9 a.m. till noon, I'm busy. Don't ask me. I'm lifting. And that's it.
Did you find you were quite the people pleaser previously to powerlifting?
A little bit.
A little bit,
yeah. Now I just don't care. I just don't. I'll do what I can for my community and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to make me a secondary citizen in my own life just to appease other people. No, not anymore.
Let's talk about the gym closures. We went down this road a little bit, but I wanted to bring up more of a happier story.
Sure.
So, you were stuck. You were without your weights. You're without your gym.
Yeah.
And husband comes in for the win. So I wanted to show what your husband had built you, because he built this rack. And before anybody gets too excited, I did ask, and unfortunately it was for her and her only. He's not mass producing these. You can't get them. But that's your basement, and I love the carpet. Absolutely love the carpet and the wood panel.
70s porn basement right there. We're keeping it real.
Keeping it real. So husband makes this rack for you, so you're able to lift somewhat at home and keep the training going.
It doesn't have, as you can tell, it doesn't have any safeties, which really scares the crap out of my mom. And she does not like me lifting at home by myself. And I know it scares a few of my other friends too. But I've been telling them, we are not doing past an RPE 8. It's okay.
You're just keeping up with things.
We're just maintaining.
Yes.
Yeah, we're maintaining until I can get back in the C2 and get back to safeties and all that kind of stuff. Then yeah, it's okay. I was really excited to be able to do over 300 pounds squatting for my working weight yesterday, because I haven't been there since I competed at the end of September. I haven't done over 300 pounds since I lifted my PR of 160. So sometimes you play mind games with yourself if you're not able to train the way that you're used to training, and I'll tell myself things like, okay, the build back, you're not gonna get there. But I know I'm gonna get there, because every time I've done a comp, you take time off and then the build starts again. So it's just those little mental games, right?
I think I did grab a picture of you of your last competition you did. I think it was September, October, and you have the mask on. Did I grab that picture, Chris? There we go.
Oh yeah. Isn't that the most unnatural way to do any kind of sport? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this picture. The old me would have hated my belly on that because I'm a mom who had a C-section and things just didn't go back the way that I would have liked them to. But that's not even the first thing I see anymore. I noticed my arms. I'm like, holy crap, you are jacked.
I was looking for your smile, and like the mask situation, you can't see it, but you can still see it in the eyes. I can tell that you were happy with that. You were proud of that.
I was, because before that I was dealing with a sciatica issue. So that was 10 kilos less than my PR I had done at Nationals the previous March, right? But that was okay, because I was like, let's just get the lift so that we had, and I went 9 for 9, which is a big deal to go 9 for 9. That was my first time, and that was my 7th competition that I went 9 for 9. And because Carol's gone 9 for 9 a few times, she wins money when she goes and competes, and we're like, you're buying dinner.
Yeah. That's why she's your teammate. I know now. What's the plan for 2021? Dream big. The world's back open. Things are safe. Are you hoping to do competitions this year?
I haven't heard of any yet, but I would love to, even if I just get a local comp done in Edmonton with my coach, Tim Nadeau. He's out of St. Albert. I would love to be able to go and even get in the gym with him and just have a one-on-one training session so he knows how I tick, even though he has handled me in nationals at 2019, sorry. And I love the vibe he has when you're competing. He is goofy, he gets me, and I just love it. Like, I remember we were doing a comp, me and my friend Emily Belanger, she's another powerlifter. We were at Westerns in 2018, and we decided, oh, we're both tall. Oh my God, you're tall too. She's 6'1", I'm 5'10". So we decided, oh my God, who can kick the highest during squats? Everyone else has headphones on, and they're like zoomed in. Her and I are in the back. Our coaches are looking for us, and we're seeing who can kick over the other one's head. Anyway.
It's just a fun community. I get it. I bring up these memories and things just come out. I get it.
It just makes me laugh when I remember we did that. Everyone thought we were on crack.
They were like, who are these two powerlifters over there?
Kicking in the back room, yeah.
Well, what should I do if I'm a person who wants to get started in powerlifting, and what's my first steps here?
Oh, that's a good one. How did I start? I didn't have any equipment when I started. I didn't have my wrist wraps. I didn't have knee sleeves yet. I didn't even have a belt yet. So it was just more getting acquainted with the bar, learning technique, how to squat properly. What does a proper squat look like? Because there's a certain way that you need to do things to make your lifts count and to be the most effective lifter as you're learning. And that doesn't mean as you go along in your career. I've tweaked so many things in the last 4 years, it's not even funny. It's a part of the process. You're like, okay, what used to work for me doesn't really work for me anymore. So, okay, what do I need to do different? So it's just getting comfortable with that bar. You don't even have to have weight on it. Start just deadlifting a bar, squatting a bar. And it's just getting that proper technique. Where is the bar supposed to sit on your back? Because let me tell you, I see way too many hockey players in the C2. They got that bar on their neck, and I'm just like, ouch. And I want to say something, but they have a trainer, so I'm not going to step in on that. we don't step in. So, but I just get comfortable with the mechanisms and what's supposed to, because everyone has a different way. Do you want to deadlift sumo or conventional or a combination of both? Everyone is different. So you just have to find what feels comfortable, and then you start adding weight as you get confident. No one walks into the gym and starts squatting 300 pounds. That is a lie.
Yes. Yeah. That is a quick way to get hurt.
That doesn't mean you won't one day. If you're starting out, we're not going to do it on that same day. Yeah.
I think I love a lot about powerlifting is the natural progression of your goals and what you're able to achieve, and that it's left in your own hands to achieve those things.
Yeah, like no one can hand it to you. You gain what you put into it, right? And that's what I remember. This is so funny. My goal was, I'm going to deadlift 200 pounds. I remember that. I'm going to squat 150 pounds. Or I'm going to bench 100 pounds or something. And it's kind of funny to kind of look back and be like,
I got it.
Appreciating the journey of it, because when you're in the middle or when you're beginning, if you would have told me I was going to be national champion when I started less than 4 years ago, I would have thought you were drunk, because that's not what I didn't think that's where we were going with this. But the universe has some really unique ways of showing you your journey, and I don't question it. So we're going to ride this out for as long as we can and just enjoy the journey.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Janine.
Thank
it
you.
was a super pleasure. I hope you're able to get back in the gym and get back on the competition circuit sooner than later. And hopefully some people learned a little more about powerlifting. And
Absolutely.
doing
I
things
hope
outside.
I hope we have more women come in, because I love it. We got room for everybody. Come on in, whatever your age, whatever your size, whatever your height, it doesn't matter. Just come in and lift. It's a good time.
I'm Jena, that's Janine. Thank you so much for joining me again, and we will be right back on the Jena Colbourne Show.
I'm Victoria from Victoria G Fitness. I train women's mindsets in order for them to have powerful fitness journeys. I really believe that mindset is at the core of all success. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're on a fitness journey, whether you're going to school, mindset really is the core of success. And if we aren't starting there, you are starting at a massive disadvantage, right? Many people go into a fitness journey because they don't like their body, because they feel ashamed, because they feel frustrated. And that energy doesn't make you get up at 6 a.m. It doesn't make you push harder. It doesn't make you, push for yourself. You have to come from a positive place for this to be successful long term. Yeah, so let me just define mindset training really quick in case no one's heard of it before. Basically what mindset training is hearing your own thoughts and choosing to either change that thought or replace that thought. So let's say I go in front of a mirror and I'm saying mean things to myself. Mindset training is being oh, I hear myself doing that. I don't want to have those thought patterns, right? That thought doesn't help me. So I'm going to proceed by saying, this is just a human body, I'm moving on. Or I can replace the thought and say actually, I really like my body. My body, is my temple. This is a powerful body. Depending where you are in your journey, you're going to go positive or you're going to go neutral. So the way I usually work, if it's a new client, I run things kind of like a course, right? I want to teach you how to do fitness. A lot of people come in and they have really bad misinformation. They're Googling how to lose 20 pounds, or they're hearing about fad diets, or people trying to sell to them. And they really just don't know what they're doing. And they're running from this fear-based, part of themselves. I want to change so badly. So a lot of what I do is really bring you back to your center and teach you this is science. This is what it is. No bullshit added, no fear added. This is science, and this is what we're going to move forward with. So I take people's individual needs, because everyone has different bodies, everyone has different goals. And I just set them up on a plan alongside this course so that they're getting, both the knowledge and that one-on-one training. A lot of times I get clients who have worked with other coaches before. And often they tell me the same experience. Someone gave them a PDF document with chicken and broccoli 3 times a day. They told them to run on the treadmill for 2 hours and they said, go. But people aren't at that level. Yes, that is the maximum best way for you to get your results, for sure. Follow 1,500 calories, run every day. But no one's actually teaching you how to do that, or the mental obstacle to do that, right? We all know how to eat healthy, but we don't know why we're not eating healthy, or why we're not waking up to go to the gym, or why we're resisting going after work, right? Why are we putting our feet up and eating a bag of chips when we're upset? So when you actually teach that part, that gets people to the place where they could do that, they're just missing that first step. So when a new client comes in, I usually always do a video call one-on-one where we just talk, what's going on for you? What's your history? Every woman's tried a diet before. Every woman's tried a fitness plan. And I really just kind of assess where you are mentally and physically and where you're going. From that call, I always usually put people on a 90-day program. So for 3 months, we're gonna learn, we're gonna work together. because in the first month you don't normally see results. You usually see it in the second and third month. So I prefer to work with people for a few months so that they can really start to see and develop that discipline. Weekly we do check-ins. There's a questionnaire that they fill out every week. There's videos to watch, a lot of like engaging stuff to keep them active on it. I would say what I really hope for people to gain is like a sense of confidence, right? A lot of times people are too afraid to go to the gym because they're afraid of what people are going to think of them. They're eating differently because they're ashamed of their body. They don't want anyone to see their body. Like, I really hope that I can give people the feeling that like where you are right now, exactly where you are right now is okay. Like, you do not need to be ashamed of it, and you just need to own where you are, and you can do anything when you own where you are. So you can definitely shoot me a message on Instagram. I do a lot of my business on Instagram or Facebook. I also have an email, but Instagram is probably the best place to go. So I do coaching, not personal training. So I'm not going to go with you to the gym. I'm not going to Zoom with you while you're lifting weights. I'm going to give you a meal plan, a workout program, a course to follow. But it is all virtual, and the workout programs are made to click and press play, and you just follow through with them. So, it's easy to do at home if the gyms are closed or you can't get one of those 10 spots. Like, it is made for being virtual. It is made for being at home.
Welcome back to the Jena Colbourne Show. I am joined now via Skype with Shireen Sutherland, Intentional Living Health and Wellness Coach. Thank you for joining me, Shireen.
Thanks for having me. What a great group of women today. It's been awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we definitely had some fun and got to know Janine a little better, get to see a little inside of the powerlifting world, and then also learn a little more about mindset fitness. So that's where I wanted to talk to you, because you are an expert with mindset, and right now you're running a series called Break the Cycle. And we're going to focus in on breaking the cycle behind binge and emotional eating.
Very good. Break the cycle is what I do. It's what my whole coaching life is about. So because it was what I needed to do personally, because I lost 90 pounds a few years ago. And even with COVID, I struggled with some of those old cycles and patterns coming back in. So I knew that was what other people needed as well. And so suddenly it just became really clear where my practice needed to go.
So Shireen, if somebody's living in that cycle, maybe they're eating well all week and then the stress catches up to them Friday night. What are some ways you would give some tips maybe on how to break that cycle?
One of the first things that I would say to people is, that's coming. We know beforehand that Friday night's coming. And so how can we plan a different Friday night than what we usually have that's going to help us change that up? And so it's getting outside and getting for a walk. It's making sure you have coffee with a friend before you go home. It's if you find yourself hungry on the way home, making sure that you have a snack with you that's healthy, that's going to help fill you up before you get there. And it's making sure that the foods that you want to eat are at home and the stuff that isn't there, so you have to go get it. And that not allowing yourself, like making some rules for yourself and being mentally prepared through the week is a big deal.
What's your biggest tip to somebody who maybe has been doing this, not just like, a couple months, like it's beyond where you can classify it as stress, and now we're into like this habit of every weekend or every Saturday night I'm doing this same behavior, and I like to mask it as saying it's emotional or stress, but perhaps now because it's been going on for so long, that's not the right word for it.
Right. It's become a habit, and we get into habit cycles and into loops. It can be about emotional eating. It can be about what you're saying to yourself. You could be talking negatively to yourself. I liked how both the previous girls talked about that, and what a big deal that is. And so my number one tip that changed my life completely was to get a coach and to be coached every day. The other thing, if you're not going to get a coach, get an accountability partner. somebody that you're going to have to send information to the next day that tells about how you spent your evening the night before. Because when we have accountability, something changes. I am 4 years into my own personal journey, and I have 2 accountability partners, and every single day, it doesn't matter what happens, we talk. And it's real.
Well, I wanted to bring that up as well, because sometimes we pick the wrong accountability partners, the person who's going to let us continue to do what we want to do. They're almost like our enabling partners, but we want to pretend they're there for accountability. I know husband Chad can be mine, where I'm like thinking, oh, we should go for sushi for the 4th time this week. And I know he's someone who will agree with me and take me there. What should we be looking for in an accountability partner? Should it be somebody who's a good friend, or should we try to find somebody who may be more of an acquaintance?
It really depends. If you have a real friend, not a nice friend, that's your girl, or guy, somebody that's going to tell you the truth. Like, not that long ago, one of the girls texted us and said it was 6 o'clock at night. And she's like, I broke up with my water bottle today. I've only had 1 glass of water. And the other girl that was in the group chatted first to her and said, that's awesome. Now go get yourself a glass and drink your effing water. Like, it was like no excuses. Like, she was just like, no, you don't get to do this. Like, get at it. You need to do what you need to do. And so it's making sure that that person is going to tell you what you need to hear. So they might be an acquaintance that is real and not nice. You don't want a nice friend as an accountability partner. You need a real friend as an accountability partner. Somebody that is not scared to tell you exactly what they think and what they think you need to do. So that's the number one thing. Both these girls are, that's where we're at. We don't mince words ever.
Well, let's talk about that, because some people might not be ready for that type of tough love.
Right. And then they're not ready to change. That's the fact. Then you're not actually ready. And that's where, nobody can motivate you. I can't motivate you. You can hire a coach. A coach is a great way to do that, because they don't owe you anything. They may not live in your community. They may not know you. There's those kind of things that can be really great about entering into a coaching relationship with someone, because they're distant. They can be distant from you. And then they can have those hard conversations with you. Like, I literally had somebody call me an effer the other day in one of my sessions. And I was like, winning, let's talk later. So it's like, it's finding that whoever that person is, whether or not you engage, you're going to invest in your health now, or you're going to invest in your illness later. So, you know what? Sometimes we need to be motivated by money. That can be it. I've got a few people that I coach that's definitely their deal. I need to spend money on myself, or I'm not going to do this. And so that's where that can happen. And realistically, if you're not ready to hear the hard things from me, then you're not ready to change. And I can't change that for anybody. There's nobody alive that I can change that for.
So you started a series. It's with Project Gazelle. It's called Break the Cycle. Yeah. How can people still get involved in that, or is that mid?
Yeah, no, we just actually started on Monday, so there's still time to register. I'm going to leave registration open for that. It's a 90-day challenge. There's varying degrees of involvement. Some people are just going to be in the group on Facebook. Some people are going to be in the group and get daily texting coaching support from me. And some people are going to they're going to be in that group. They're going to get the daily texting, and they're going to do one-on-one coaching as well. So there's a few different levels of ways that people can enter in. And that challenge is going to be open the 15th of every month until we're done. So it goes March 15th to June 15th. So by April 15th, it'll be open for registration again for the last 2 months, and the same thing in May, so that people can get in on the last month if they want to. So it's accountability, it's encouragement, it's community, and that's what it's about. So
I'm going to put the registration link into the comments so people can find it. How do I know if I'm ready?
I think if you're thinking that you're ready, there's a very good possibility that you are. You might need a one-on-one coaching session with me to actually determine if you want to do that. And when you send me a registration form, we're actually going to have a chat by some method, I hope in person, because that's the best way for me to help you determine if this is for you and if you're ready for that, and if I feel like our group is a good fit for you as well. So I have some questions that I go through with people and just check in with them, and then, because I can't chase people once you get in there. Once you paid your money and you started, I'm not going to outwork you. You have to outwork me. So I have to sort of gauge that and see. And so a great conversation will help us determine that for sure.
Shireen, how do we get a hold of you if we're interested in Life Coach?
If you're interested in Life Coach, you can go to ShireenSutherland.com and you can send me a message through there, or you can check out my Facebook page, which is Intentional Living Health and Wellness Coach, Shireen Sutherland. And then you can also go to Instagram, which is intentional.living.coach. So you can head there and check out any of those, send me a PM in any of those, and I'll get back to you.
Well, I'll make sure to put all the links in our comments so people can find you. You can also join our group, the Jena Colbourne Show. I'll have all the links there for you as well. Shireen, I think we're going to see you again on the show, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Awesome. Happy to be here. And what a great show, Jena, today. Loved it. I took lots away myself.
Thank you, Shireen.
Have a great day.
You as well. We'll be right back on the Jena Colbourne Show. I'm just going to get rid of this earpiece. You can play.
Inspired in Cold Lake is not your average clothing store. You'll discover unique brands like Sandwich, Papillon, Camp, Dex, Spiritual Gangster, and more. Accessorize your outfit with shoes, bags, outerwear, and jewelry. Find one-of-a-kind gift ideas and don't miss out on their monthly sip and shop. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to get inspired. Muse Inspired in Cold Lake and online museinspiredboutique.com.
I wanted to thank everyone for joining us today on the Jena Colbourne Show. Our special guest, Janine Hebert, thank you so much for coming in and talking about powerlifting. Of course, our business spotlight from Community Futures Lakeland, Victoria G Fitness. Really enjoy her. I've actually used her, and she's really changed my mindset behind fitness, behind what my goals are, and given me some tools that I carry into my everyday life, not just into my fitness journey. So I highly recommend her as well. And Shireen Sutherland, who just happens to be my life coach as well. So I'm sure we'll be seeing her a little more as the Jena Colbourne Show progresses. I'll make sure to have all of the links, all the websites, everything you need to know to utilize the services of anyone you saw here today. And I want to send a big shout out to producer Chris for producing the show each and every week. So thank you for that. And if you guys want more content, you want exclusive pictures, maybe some discussion boards, post-show discussion, make sure you go like the group, the Jena Colbourne Show, and that's where we have a little bit of post-show fun. We'll be back next week at the same time, Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. So I'll see you next week on the Jena Colbourne Show right here on Lakeland Connect.